Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk about Overwatch, the current game that is currently live, and the type of stuff that we can expect to see going forward in case you are just not aware, in between now and the release of Overwatch 2. Obviously I know there's a lot of people who are worried that there won't be any really big announcements between now and Overwatch 2 for the Overwatch game, and that worries some people. It worries me as well. You know what will motivate people to still play Overwatch itself between now and the release of Overwatch 2? Because the Overwatch team, Jeff Kaplan and some of the devs have said that their focus is on Overwatch 2. We don't have a release timeline for Overwatch 2, though there are some rumors that are saying that the release timeline is fall 2020. I don't know how truthful those are, but overall, there's a belief that that's when this game will come out, kind of late 2020. But we don't have an official release date or an official release timeline, so who knows how long it's going to take, and I think that obviously impacts what does or doesn't come to the Overwatch base game. So let's talk about the Overwatch base game for now, and talk about what kind of stuff we can expect going forward. One of the first things I want to mention, it has to do with the Overwatch League. The 2020 season of the Overwatch League will be, and this is confirmed, will be played on Overwatch 1, the current Overwatch game. It will not be played on Overwatch 2. The way it sounded like he said it was it will be the entire season will be played on Overwatch 1. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily that that's true. The game could release by, September or July or something like that. That would force the season to take place at least for a little bit in Overwatch 2, but I don't think that'll happen. I think they're going to purposely try to wait until after the season ends before they release it, so I don't expect that to come out until at the latest or at the earliest, like October, but I don't expect it to come out then at all. So that's the first thing. Let's talk about the other things, though. The bigger things, of course, one of which is the content that Overwatch 1 will be getting. What kind of content can we expect from Overwatch 1? Now, when I'm recording this video and uploading this video, obviously, it's November 11th, and we know that this week we are getting a PTR update that adds a couple of things that I think people will be pretty happy with. We don't know if it adds anything beyond this, but we can speculate. So it's going to add a new deathmatch that is available only to players who are queuing up for matches, and you can still skirmish, but there's another deathmatch map. You can also enter workshop modes. You can enter team deathmatch. You can enter the training range. So there's a bunch of different things you'll be able to do now that you have not been able to do in the past. You can enter the training range with friends now, with a group, if you're with a group of people. So I think that's really cool. I think that's a really good change. It's the right kind of change to make, because some of the queue times take a little while. I think this will be really cool. I play mostly support and tank, but I've been playing a lot of DPS recently because I think it's pretty fun, and I wanted to kind of improve in my DPS heroes. But the queue times for DPS are certainly long. I mean, I've seen them be sub 10 minutes. I've seen them be 10 minutes is like the estimate time. And I don't get usually like those 30, 40-minute queues because I'm not high enough on the ladder to get those really long queue times. So the longest I've ever had to wait was like 15 minutes for a game, which is not fun when you're waiting 15 minutes just to get into a match. So I'm hoping this new deathmatch and all these new changes will be really good for the game. I think that'll be really cool. Like I said, we don't know if this PTR patch will have any hero balance changes, though I assume it will have some. I just don't know what. We don't know if it's going to have a new hero or a new map, but I don't think it'll have either of those two things. Especially since we just got the competitive map pool rotation. I don't really see why we would get a new map now. Maybe we do, and maybe we do, and we test it out, and that's how they try to get it to work. We'll see, but I don't expect a new map or anything. I definitely don't expect a new hero in this PTR patch. Speaking of new maps and new heroes, can we expect any new maps or new heroes going forward? In regards to new maps, we don't know. They haven't said whether or not we should expect new maps. We haven't gotten a new map since Havana, which was back in what, April? So it's been a while since we've gotten a new map. And I think most of their resources for maps are dedicated to making new maps for Overwatch 2. And I think maps are the kind of thing that people don't care as much about as opposed to like heroes, which we know we're getting at least one hero between now and the release of Overwatch 2. Now, I think whether or not we get one or two is dependent on when Overwatch 2 launches. I expect us, obviously we didn't get a BlizzCon hero, so I'd expect us to get a hero in February or March, where Baptiste released last year, Brigitte the year before that, Arissa the year before that. That's when I'd expect us to get our next hero. And then depending on when the game launches, we might get a hero then over the summer, or maybe like late summer, or at BlizzCon or something. Because they have to push the game back. So the game releases next year, fall next year. I expect us to get one new hero. If it releases in 2021, I would expect us to get two new heroes between now and then, just to kind of add stuff into the game to make sure the game feels fresh and whatnot. But it's going to be a while before we get our next hero. I have a feeling. Like I said, March, it's pretty long time away from now. It's only November, so we still got like 4 months to wait before we see a new hero. So things will be a little different, I think, going forward. It's going to be a little weird, but I expect it to hopefully not take too long to get everything going with the game. But they've been very adamant that they're not going to just abandon Overwatch 1. But it is a little worrisome. I'm a little worried, and I haven't seen enough stuff to make me not feel worried. I'm glad they confirmed we're getting at least one new hero. That made me pretty happy, because I was worried that we wouldn't be getting any hero at all. I was really worried. They didn't show one at BlizzCon, and it made me go like, oh, that's not good. Like, are we even going to get a new hero? Because it's the kind of thing that Overwatch is a game about heroes at the end of the day, and if we don't get new heroes, it just feels like we're not getting what we need. We're not getting the main thing that people play Overwatch for. And that is not exciting. What is interesting, of course, is they confirmed that with this year's Archives event, the 2020 Archives event, sorry, it's next year's Archives event, we won't be getting a new mission. It'll be just the same 3 missions and new skins. Which they also confirmed we're going to get new skins for all the events, too. We already saw the Sigma one for the Winter Wonderland event. I won't show that to you in case you want to see it. It's on Captain Planet's Twitter account, Ben Troutman. I think it's just at Captain Planet OW. If you want to check it out, you can check it out there. But so we know we're getting stuff for the events. So we're still going to get all the events, and that's how they're going to try to keep the game kind of fresh and whatnot, is with new skins. I mean, the Halloween skins this year are really, really good. So there will be some stuff, but there's just not going to be a ton of stuff. But like I said, they're going to be doing some updates. And of course, eventually, the launcher will combine into one, and it'll be the same client for both Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2, with the exception being if you don't have Overwatch 2, you just don't have access to the story content. But it's interesting to see how they're going to do this going forward, because it's not something that I think I expected to be the case. I was kind of hesitant to say they were going to do a sequel. I thought there was just going to be like an expansion, which I guess technically like it is, but they're really dedicated on the expansion. So in that way, I guess it makes sense. I also feel like we're going to have to get a beta at some point, especially for push as a game mode. That seems like something that really would need to be tested before it goes live, because it's a competitive game mode, a new competitive game mode. I feel like people would need to kind of flesh out their issues with it before it went competitive and it went into actual competitive play and actually went into the game itself. I think that is something that would make sense. So I hope we get a beta push season at some point in time, but that's obviously talking about Overwatch 2 as opposed to Overwatch 1. But we'll see what happens. I don't really know what to expect between now and the release of Overwatch 2 for Overwatch. I don't know what hero it's going to be. I have a theory that it might be Echo, but I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see at the end of the day. I think it's going to be really weird uh, to be an Overwatch fan for the next couple months, or next like year, maybe year and a half, until we get Overwatch 2. But it's going to be. It's also weird because they said they're going dark. That's the other thing that I thought was weird. They're not going to really show us anything until BlizzCon next year. So it's like, well, what are we gonna? You're not gonna get anything. We want to see the redesigns. So we'll see what happens. Who knows? Maybe they won't go dark until BlizzCon. Maybe they'll have some stuff to show us like every so often. Maybe we'll get like dev updates on the progress of Overwatch 2. Who knows? But I'm interested in seeing that. But I don't think we will because I think that takes time from where they want to be working on the game. So who knows? I have no idea. I don't work for Blizzard, and I don't have people inside Blizzard telling me stuff that I need to know. So I have no idea. But that's everything I have for you today. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your opinions and anything down below. What you think is going to happen with Overwatch 1 until Overwatch 2 comes out, anything like that. Your thoughts on new heroes that we don't know about, ones you think might come to Overwatch 1. I'd love to hear what you have to say down below. But that is everything. So if you enjoyed, consider liking and subscribing. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!